another Airbnb, another town, another trip. But that's how I like to live it. So this is a family one, but I always like to squeeze some work in. And so I've had clients a little bit, but I've also wanted to do this with you. We have a full moon coming up, and things that you can expect from this full moon have to do with you going forward and getting yourself balanced. So what I'll do is a more collective read. Get something to drink here, guys. A more collective read. And then if you pop on and you have a question, it's free. One question. Happy to answer tonight, okay? Forgive the background setting. I'm in bed right now, waiting for the kids to come back. They're out riding roller coasters. And interestingly enough, the family that is vacationing across from us is in a couple of houses. We're in this one amazing house with like 6 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms, and it sleeps like 14. It's an incredible place. Disney theme rooms and all of the stuff, and Minions theme rooms and crazy, crazy good stuff. But the family that there's like 20 something of them, they're a Jewish family, and my brother-in-law was like talking them up, and they invited us to Seder here, which is starting shortly for them. So I'm wondering if they're going to make it back in time for the parks to partake in this Seder. We did go get some Manischewitz because it is the only kosher wine we could find. But in any case, he likes rosé, the guy said. So hopefully they found some rosé too when they went back out. But happy Seder to those of you that are celebrating Passover and that are Jewish. Anyway, I'm going to start here and see what we have coming up. What do we have coming up? And again, if you pop on and you have read the title, it is true. One free question for any of you that pop on here. We're doing a little bit of intimate connection tonight. I hope you guys caught my live with Andreas. If not, go check that out. It's a fantastic one regarding dodging bullets, and he really dodged a bullet in a situation with a karmic. Karmics cause you to lose everything: your family, your life, your health, your money, and they will take all of that from you happily and then like blame you for losing it. So pay attention. Message, message, message for any of you guys that have ever been in those situations. They are toxic, and they will lower and seal your complete vibration. Let's see what's going on here. We have second house issues that will be coming up here. We have your assets, finances, and the thing that you value. And then also Aries, which is apropos because this is a full moon in Aries. So this energy, the energy around you is dynamic and spontaneous. Crusading, impulsive action is likely. So this is what we're dealing with it being in Aries. One of the cards that came out here from the second house. The other one, which deals with our assets, finances, and the things that you value. So, and then I do feel like I'm supposed to take the mountain goat. It's funny. My broski was joking in the house that we're staying in. There is a crazy set of steps at an incline, which is funny because at his house in upstate New York, he has a spiral staircase, so they take steps every day. But this staircase, he's like, I don't want to be a mountain goat. He's thinking about, like what I do to upgrade my house, and he's like, I don't want to be a mountain goat anymore. So it's funny because this literally makes me think of what he says, the mountain goat, and these are the stairs that we're climbing in this house. So it kind of works out. So the energy around you is serious, materialistic, hardworking. It bestows shrewdness and cautious ambition. Let's take a look and see what cards are we going to read here. One free question for anybody that pops in. If I don't see your question, send it to me again. One free question for anybody that pops in. Sorry guys, I have my full setup because I've been working. So I've got my crystals and everything. I like seemingly don't travel without any of the stuff anymore. It's a whole situation now. It's a whole situation in the best way. It's funny guys, when you manifest a life, and the full moon is fantastic for releasing a lot of things, but also manifestation. But when you manifest a life, you get, I have a question, and I will answer that. When you manifest a life, you get a lot of the things that you ask for. Let's clarify these two cards, and then I have a question about if someone is having a baby soon. The second house, they're wanting you to pay attention to what's going on with your finances and the things that you value. Special attention is going to need to be paid here with the Two of Swords, because what happens with the Two of Swords is we literally can't see, and it can be a time of confusion. And in order to bring in stability here, which I love to see here with the Ace of Pentacles, Real Talk with Gilly says, I love your videos. I just came into my spiritual awakening, learning my gift of being an intuitional empath is abundance coming my way. I will answer your question. I have one more before you. So regarding the second house, thank you, Gilly, so much. But regarding the second house here, what we're dealing with is stability. They want you to take a good look. I'm hearing, take a look at me now. And I feel like there's an energy of you pulling in your dreams and what you want regarding that, and that is happening for you here with the Aquarian energy. What the also the guidance is to be unconventional with the way that you're pulling in your dreams, to be unconventional with the way that you're deciding that you want your life to be. Clarify the Aries energy. Energy around you is dynamic and spontaneous. Crusading, impulsive action is likely. So someone here is divesting from partnership is one of the things that they're showing me. Someone here is divesting from partnership or moving away from a toxic partnership into a real love. So real love, hey, I'm searching for a real love. Who has been searching for a real love? Some of you guys have been searching for a real love. I'm so happy to be with you guys, sharing this with you, because it's something that has been true for me. I have been searching for real love, but it was platonically. I was searching for like a real connection and real friendship, and it's something that I manifested. So I feel uniquely qualified to speak to people that are pulling that in for themselves, whether it's romantically or platonically, because I pulled it in for myself. It didn't happen immediately. I took all the steps that I recommend to you. I'm one of those like walk it like I talk it. So if I say it, I'm doing it too. And I recommend highly that you take your time and vet whoever's coming in that's new, but you are having someone that's coming in that's new. Even platonic love can be passionate too. I have a passionate relationship with someone that I love who is completely platonic, but I divested from this. This is tumult. This is a storm. This is tempestuous behavior. This is bad behavior. This is people that leave you forlorn. And so with the Aries energy here, one of the things that happens is we can be impulsive. Aries energy does lead to impulsivity. So what they're saying is that be careful to take your strides with that. And the last card here is, this is beautiful. A new cycle begins. So that's what you want to see on a full moon for sure, is releasing the old thing. On the new moon, bringing in the new thing, right? And manifesting the new thing. But a new cycle begins. For those of you that are also on your cycle, this is a powerful time of manifestation. If you're at a full moon and finishing up your cycle or on your cycle, for my menstruating women that are still here, okay? All right, now let's answer some questions. Am I having a baby soon? Let's take a look and see what's coming in for you. I have the strangest itch on my side. And this is a question for SDF. And this is interesting because the first card that came out, pay attention to your intuition at this time and move ahead confidently, all right? And then the next one is love. So these two cards came out for SDF. So let's talk about it. Love surrounds all of your connections. Move forward positively in all areas of your life. The moon, pay attention to your intuition at this time and move ahead confidently. Same answer on the card, different questions, or same question, different answers, same answer. Let's clarify that energy here. Six of Pentacles, it's time for you to make investments into your body, S. And they said that you're triggered. You're worried that this won't happen for you. Excuse me. You're worried that this won't happen for you. I want to say that it will, because what I just had was like this weird kind of burp. It feels blocked off for you. You're struggling with this. Is she having a baby? You don't feel like it's something that's going to happen. This is something that plagues you, the thoughts of that. So what has to change is your mindset. Clarify a baby for SDF. 10 of Cups. It is predicted. This is going to be something that plays out as you move through the next, I would say year, 10 months to a year. It's not time yet. So if you say soon, what is soon? Soon is relative. I would not say soon. And I'm one of those readers that I'm not trying to like just say the no to you to be brutal and cutting. I know a lot of readers that do that. That's not my jam or my ministry. I very much want you to have what you're wanting, but I am very skilled at making sure that we narrow down the timing. So the time frame for you to start to bring in a baby is actually next spring. So this is early spring. So we're talking February. That's the time frame where I would actually see conception. It would be from Christmas, December of next year, this year, excuse me, of 2022 is when I see conception possibly happening for you. IVF and various other things are going to be something that come up for you. And I know you're like, IVF on it, what are you talking about, girl? I'm not J-Lo, I get it. But what they're saying is there are definitely tests that are reasonable that you can start taking over the counter to kind of see where your eggs are at, if you need to freeze eggs, what you need to do. And these are things that are affordable. I think under like $150, if not 60 to 150. I think the last time I checked with one of my clients who was like kind of going through this fertility testing just on her own, and she wanted to see what she could do. So one of the things that you can do though that they're showing me is an investment on yourself with the Six of Pentacles. They want you to get balanced with your health, because they said if you do that, and then there's a special diet specifically that they're recommending, it's going to help you manifest exactly what you want. This is about your carb balance intake, which is interesting because y'all can see me. I do love a carb. It is it is the great thing in my life, the great battle in my life. So I'm never going to be a hater. But what I'm hearing for you specifically is that insulin resistance is a thing regarding conception and pregnancy. Okay, I am not a doctor. I cannot give medical advice. It's so funny. If I was working with you on one of the sites that I freelance for, I couldn't even talk to you about that at all. But here, I will take my liberties. But I still must disclaim the truth of the thing, which is that I'm not a doctor and I cannot give you medical advice. I am hearing clearly and intuitively for you that insulin resistance and or balancing your body and your food are going to contribute greatly for conception, but also your mood. So this is about what you believe, because I see a lot of it's not a failed attempt. What I'm seeing is like past disappointments, okay? With the Ten of Swords there, and feeling like it didn't work out your way and feeling betrayed by the universe in some capacity. So they're saying if you want to bring this thing in for you, you can, but you need to do it consciously, and scripting will help as well. Okay, SDF, I hope that answered your question. Real talk, let's see here. Oh, we have some more questions here. Am I having a baby soon? Oh Lord, I'm an Aries myself. Same. Supposed to be due on the 19th. Could be baby number 2. Absolutely. Interesting on that. Interesting on that. Well, one of the things that they're talking about for you either way is about balance, okay? So being in balance seems to be really so being in balance seems to be really important for you. And that's just one of the things that's coming through. And one of the things that comes up, so I'm not saying you're not conceiving the baby you're pregnant with currently. What I'm saying is that there's something else happening for you conception wise, whether it's business, baby, or just new ideas, but it is happening as you move into the spring of next year. So there is another, so just be careful. I don't know, maybe you're highly fertile. Just pay attention to that. Let's see here. My gift of being an intuitional empath. Is abundance coming my way? Let's see if there's anything else. Hi, Emily. Oh, gosh, I'm talking to you. Emily just texted me, but I'm talking to her like she's on the video. Okay, so let's see here. Well, yeah. One of the things that comes up here for you regarding abundance is that you're making your own abundance. You're making your own abundance. You're changing your own life. That's one of the things that's coming up here for you. This is for Real Talk with Gilly. One of the things that's coming up here is about you being pregnant, ironically. Okay, so pregnant, maybe touchy subject at this moment, but being pregnant with possibility. Not only are you coming into your awareness, I love this here with the replication of the full moon and grounding here for you. Kind of a Mother Earth energy is one of the things that's coming through. Clarify this energy here. Piscean energy, wistful, endlessly loving, compassionate, and forgiving Jupiter, expansion, your confidence and self-belief and luck. So let's take a look and see what's expanding for you regarding Jupiter. Gosh, new beginnings for you, self-esteem rising. You're feeling very confident. What I'm taken by here specifically is the flower of life, okay? So that's one of the things that I'm taken by here for you is the flower of life, which is sacred geometry, okay? And what that means for me is that you're getting a lot of downloads, you're having a lot of communications with your angels and ancestors. Almost even, when I see this, I think of crop circles. So whether you believe in them or not, what I'm thinking of is the fact that it is said to be thought that other civilizations were born from these downloaded informations. And so even if you're not connecting all those dots, one of the things that comes up here for you is that you are getting downloads, and that's true. You are 100% getting downloads, and you're going on a new journey. For the yellow here, your solar plexus is raising the amethyst, and your hand is also about raising your vibration in your crown chakra. So specifically, you are not only going on a new journey, but you are ready to be on a new journey. The downloaded message for you is that you have been on this journey for the last 3 years specifically, but you are now expanding in a way that you couldn't even have imagined, I'm hearing. And you seem to be investigating. You're hungry for knowledge. I'm hearing hungry like a wolf, but not in a bad way. This is like avaricious for knowledge, thirsting for knowledge. And they said that when the student is ready, the teacher has been appearing. So that is in past tense for you, not to say that it's not coming more into the future. I'm hearing Jamiroquai, time keeps on ticking into the future. What I'm hearing for you is that they're opening you up for more. And again, there's a big message here about balance and about stability. What they're saying with you and your spirituality, specifically your expansion, is they want it to be grounded. With the King of Pentacles here, this is Capricorn, this is Taurus, and this is Virgo energy. It's Earth sign. And the Capricorn and the Taurus both are fixed, right? Virgo is mutable. What I will tell you about this is that they're asking you to become the student of your spirituality in a way that makes you feel grounded and studying. I'm hearing study to show thyself approved. So the expansion is already coming through download. So you're getting the fun esoteric part of it that we all crave and want. But they're saying that for your spirituality specifically, it's important that you are actually grounded in it, so that it's not some woo thing that carries you away. They're saying that they don't want you given to flights of fancy. That's what I'm hearing specifically, because in the past, flights of fancy have left you feeling like this, which is abandoned. So spirituality in any degree, I don't care if it's Christianity or any denomination, has left you feeling triggered and had you feeling like abandonment issues. And they're saying the beautiful thing about this evolution in your spirituality is that no one can shake it from you, and no man is in control of it for you. You're the man, the woman in control of it, meaning you're the human in control of your spiritual ascension. And they said you don't have to wait for any answers from anybody else. They said the answers are there for you. This Three of Wands is a sign of waiting, so you don't have to wait for that. You have what you need. And they're saying they want you to protect your spirituality too. With the Four of Pentacles here, usually that would be the card of the miser and holding back. But the intuitive message that I'm getting for this, it's not about holding back for the sake of holding back. It's holding back and protecting and incubating a thing. Because of the direction that you're going with your spirituality and the ascension that's happening, it is not going to be familiar for those around you. And so they're saying in order for you to really balance it and get into it, they want you to be solid about what it is for you. They want you to be sure about how you feel about it. And they want you to protect it. I'm hearing literally protect it. I'm seeing sitting on that egg like when we were in high school, we had to carry that egg around. Protect your baby, protect your situation, clarify the energy. The message for SDF comes up to that you've been waiting a long time for this. Okay? I'm back to the first person that asked a message about the baby. They show me that you've been waiting a long time for this. Clarify that for me. Something that you've been chasing after, something that you imagined and that you pulled in, something that has caused you night terrors too. What I mean by that is that this is something you thought would evade you. This is for the person that was pregnant and asking first. So they're saying this is absolutely for you. They said the universe collaborated with you. I know you're saying absolutely not to any more kids, but I don't know how. There is another message here, or a message here for you about having more people gravitate towards you that you're mothering, even if it's not in a conventional way. I don't know. And this is not me just searching for a way to make the reading right. They literally popped me back into your energy, and they said there's more that she needs to know tonight. So just take that as it is for you. Let me carry on. Real Talk with Julie, Aries myself, blah 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 blah. Tanisha Porter, yes, you really did catch me live. Hey, Tanisha, what is the question? Tanisha says, what is the good news for me, please? Good to see you. Good to see you, too. Julie says, absolutely learning to connect with my spirit guides. Wolf, what? That's my spirit animal. Okay, awesome. You see, that's how messages happen. And Tanisha, I'm going to get to you. Real talk with Gilly. I want you to understand. You see how I was just talking and channeling and messages were coming in, and I'm not too serious about it anymore. I used to be like, oh my God, am I channeling? Well, after years of being tested, proven, rated, and all of that stuff, and also told that I'm wrong. Okay, that's one of the things that I love with the sites that I freelance for is that people can leave their reviews, and I'm not 5-star rated because it's what I want to be. It's because what my clients say of me, and also if I'm wrong, they can leave a 1-star, and that can affect my rating scale too. But that happens after a certain amount of time, and whatever the case may be. But the truth is the truth. I'm not always right. I am a human channeling, and I make mistakes, but I'm putting together puzzle pieces. But I want you to hear that for you as you're getting into this gift, and it's expanding for you with Jupiter and the Empress. You have incredible expansion and growth. You're birthing yourself. You are your own doula, if you will. Do not overthink it. And that's something that I did do and found myself guilty of in the beginning, just like you will, of the expansion. And then now I am talking and singing and doing whatever throughout all of my readings. And I don't question whether it's wrong or right. I know that my angels give it to me because it's going to shine a light on something that someone needs to hear. So I'm so glad that you validated that that was your spirit animal, because I just hear it and I was like, that doesn't make sense. But okay, I listen and I give the message anyway. All right, Tanisha. Let's see here. What's the good news for me? Let's see what the good news is for Tanisha. What does Tanisha need to know as she is moving through on this full moon? Her energy. What does Tanisha need to know? Tanisha, you also are getting Jupiter. Jupiter seems to be coming out. I love this. Leap and the net will appear, Tanisha. That's what I just heard for you specifically. Leap and the net will appear. And I'm hearing on the wings of eagles. The message on the card is your confidence, courage, and self-belief and luck are expanding. I'm going to clarify what that means specifically for you. But I'm hearing leap and the net will appear. Tanisha, the biggest planet in our astrological in our galaxy says to you specifically that you've already leapt and the net has started to build before you. Now I go back to one of the first cards that I pulled that had to do with the sacred geometry of the flower of life. You, Tanisha, have begun to build a life that came from strife, but also that came from the words that you spoke. You understand the power of the tongue. For anybody here that is new, Tanisha has a channel and she's teaching everyone about everything from how to be positive to angel numbers. She is a vegan, I do believe, vegan or vegetarian chef, and much more. But what they're saying for you, Tanisha, is this. Your work ethic is what's ushered you in the door. With the card of Virgo showing up for me, you have tilled the ground. Tanisha's work ethic is second to none. And I do believe there is an earth sign grounding in you. I do believe it's Capricorn, if I'm correct. The energy around you is dutiful, hesitant, and humble, with discriminating, diligent, and painstaking air. Let me clarify these two here. We have the moon. Tonight's a great night for manifesting for you. Okay, tonight and tomorrow. The official full moon is tomorrow. You're going to see it with your eye tonight in the best way. Clarify the energy of Jupiter. Yes, I can't make it up. The flower of life appears here. Do you see it here? The sacred geometry here. Now I'm shuffling. You heard it. But then also, I love this because this is talking about your confidence here. And that's associated with our sacral chakra. Excuse me, our soul. Oh, sacral chakra. Tanisha. Sex. Tanisha. What's happening for you this year, man? The sacral chakra is orange and associated with our creativity, but our sexual energy. So for you, it's definitely creativity. What good news is coming in is you're having a boon and a boost in your energy regarding your self-esteem. You're really starting to see the momentum building, Tanisha, for the work that you've put in. You're starting to see the momentum building for the words that you've said, for the things that you've scripted, for the things you've written down, for the way that you have bled into, because I'm hearing you've bled into painstakingly balancing not only family, but your dream, your speaking, and your energy. Because you're a different kind of bird, they said, where people have thought before that you were absurd and not understood that you had a word, that you were edified in a word, to give a word, to help people ascend, and not just for people to observe your beauty, your kindness, and your energy, that you are not just to be pulled from and suckled from, infinitely, but you are to be feeding people. You are a loaf of bread and a slice they can take, because Tanisha is always in the kitchen and she will bake. That's one of the things that's coming up for you this year, Tanisha, is an expansion in the words that you're baking to nourish the ears. Okay, so we have talked about you in food specifically. That was one of your callings and how you got into this. But they said now you're walking powerfully in your calling to speak life over people. Now I'm hearing, I've got a river of life flowing out of me. You are nourished, and you do help the blind to see. You are walking in Christ-like steps. They said your steps are ordered, and they said you know what's next, but what's next for you is expansion. And it's because they say they trust you to do the work. Clarifying that Virgo energy is, interestingly enough, I'm getting the Lovers. So partnership this year is aspected for you. Now listen, this isn't just about love relationship. This is about in all that you do. Working with others is going to be one of the ways that you expand in a beautiful way for you. Vetting people that you might work with. So it's a collaboration, it's a conversation, maybe it's a contractor, maybe it's something else. What good is coming in for you? Let me clarify that Lovers and just make sure it's not romantic, Tanisha. Um, no, see, this is about you being choosy and circumspect. I'm getting similar cards, so there must be definitely an energy in the collective, because I'm using my full deck and I have many others here. Clarify what else is coming in for Tanisha. You're getting rewarded for walking away from things that no longer serve you, too. One more for Tanisha. What else is coming in for her? New cycles and new beginnings. And this is definitely mimicking that Jupiter energy. That's the world there and the Wheel of Fortune. And then again, the marriage card of the Hierophant. Contracts and partnerships highly aspected for you. So that's interesting, Tanisha. Next time we get a chance to do one of our personal reads, I'll take a deeper look for you. But it looks like you have been manifesting connection or reconnection. So that's one of the blessings that's coming in for you second half of the year. Let's take a look and see what else I've got here. All right. Momo's Happy Place says, oh, wow, thanks for sharing your time and gifts with us. Any messages for this new chapter for me? Absolutely, Momo's Happy Place. Happy to. Real Talk with Gilly says, that's what I'm seeing. I'm trying to think too much about my channeling. Oh, so I'm glad that that is a confirmation, because sometimes it's just coming out. And you know the thing about it, Gilly, is that people will doubt you. I doubted myself too years and years ago. I don't doubt myself anymore, because too many of the things that I've said have come true. And it's not because I said them because I have a mouth and I'm Monette. It's because it's come through me. I am conduit. That is the key to your growth spiritually. I will tell you, is humility. Truly. The second you start to think you're magic is the second that can be yanked right from you. You know what they say, pride cometh before the fall. And I tell my clients this all the time and every day. What do I know? I'm just a person that met you 20 seconds ago or has worked with you for years and maybe knows your personality. But when I'm telling you something and it's accurate, that's coming through me, not from me. And you need to be very, very sure, because so what will happen is we get prideful, Gilly, and we'll start to think, oh, this message is coming from me and I'm some kind of magical being. And the universe has a way of really humbling you. Yes, we are magic. Yes, my divine feminines and my empaths. Y'all are my unicorns, my babies, and I adore you. But we are conduit, and the message comes through us. It is not something that comes from us. We are the muse. The muse moves through us, right? So we are the muse of the angels and the gods, meaning they allowed us to incarnate and have this life. They teach us lessons, and they shine different lights on each of us, so we're a different color. Think of a stage that's lit up with different spotlights, and each of us have something to convey. So this is the way that I convey to you. I'm talking about emotions and beauty and connections and divine feminine and owning yourself and power and the archetype of our bodies. These are the things that I was taught the painful side of, so that I can show the pretty side and the light, but also the shadow side and the things that go bump in the night. Never doubt your channeling, because what you've gone through in your life will definitely color what you bring through, whether it's light, bright, shining white, or it seems like it's under a hazy moonlight. Don't doubt your channeling. Don't overthink it. It is what it is. And people will validate it in time. But before anyone validates it, you have to be sure of your mind. And that's why they said for you, Gilly, to study and really get rooted and get grounded in your spirituality, because no one can shake you. Because I promise you, there will be tests where people come against you and they say, I don't believe you. I don't trust you. Ask Tanisha here in the comments. Ask Momo's Happy Place. I don't believe you. What you're saying is not true. That's crazy. Always they think you're crazy first. Then they try to copy you. And then they say you're a genius. But that genius part comes much later, okay? I have a video up here that I would highly recommend you check out. I don't know if it's called You Need an Ark, I Know a Guy, but it has something to do with Noah in the title. And it is about a prophet is never respected in their hometown. I think that's the name of it. It's one of my favorite videos, but it is the allegory of Jesus not being respected in his hometown, and also how they made fun of Noah. When you are starting to get grounded in your spirituality, you are Noah saying in a desert that hasn't rained in 40 years that there's a flood coming and it's going to be here. And you're the crazy person building the ark, and people are like, this is a lark and that bitch is crazy. And then one day the rain comes, baby. And who gets saved? Anybody that listened to that crazy lady or man. Okay? Message. That's for somebody else out here. I feel like that's a broad message for all of us listening. Stop paying attention to what other people think about your words and your messages. They are true. And it's not because, again, it comes from you. It's because it comes through you. All right. Now, Momo's Happy Place. Tanisha says, wow, blah, 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 blah. I will answer Emily in a second. I haven't read it. Messages for new chapter 4, Momo's Happy Place. Let's see. Thank you guys for your patience. Please say hello to all the other friends that are joining us in the chat today. It's a community, and that's the way that I've been instructed to guide and build this with you guys. It is a community, so I want you guys to be friendly. You don't have to love everybody in the community, but you should be friendly. You should communicate. That's the old teacher in me. Let's say hi to our friends, all right? And if you have any suggestions or any things that you can offer, please do, because I am here as a conduit for you, but I'm not the only one that has truth, okay? Clarify the energy of what's coming from Momo's Happy Place. All right, Mountain. Know that you're protected as you face challenges, but remain cautious, Momo's Happy Place. And then Fire. Let go of emotional upheaval and embrace renewal of the present. Listen, Momo's Happy Place. Let's talk about this. You said, tell me something good. Hey, hey, hey. Tell me that you like it. Yeah, but what happened is I saw with you that you're going through some things. So I got some good things to tell you about how to get through it. But what I'm going to do first is, yeah, because see, here's what I'm seeing here. They're saying hold back the conflict. I got the 4 of Pentacles, right? And then I got the 5 of Wands. So this is conflict. Momo's Happy Place. What's going on, baby? Let's see. What's going on? You're on a mountain. Clarify the energy here. See, here's what you're trying to get to. You're disillusioned about relationship, all right? So you were dealing with a narcissistic energy is one of the things that's coming through here. And you excuse me, you were trying to get through this. You're also expelling energy. Whenever I burp and I haven't eaten or drank anything, I had a little water as we started the reading, so no reason for me to be burping now. Whenever that happens, yes, I'm talking and you take an air, and that's something any good lectern will tell you, like, you know, any lecture will tell you that happens. A good orator will burp, but because they're breathing right. But what I will tell you here is that's about expelling. Also, what I'm paying attention here to is the owl here in the corner, the higher wisdom, also the purple. That represents amethyst to me, even though it may be lilac. What I'm seeing here for you is that you, you're dealing with someone who's operating out of their shadow. Do you see the bats around him? And do you see this kind of very beefy crow energy? You're dealing with a narcissistic energy, and you're coming out of that. You're rebirthing yourself as Empress. You stood up for yourself, and on this full moon, I want you to do some releasing, okay? So what I want you to do is when we get off of here, I want you to find some releasing on YouTube, find some cord cutting. I also have a video up here about salt divorces, and I think that would be highly advantageous and beneficial for you, because there's still some slicing away that you need to do, is what your angel said. After she slices away what's coming through, the the fire, let go of emotional upheaval and embrace renewal, because you have a trigger around the masculine energy and what it can be. With the Emperor showing up here, that's what they're going to bring in. Masculine energy that's balanced. I don't care if it's a man or a woman's body that it manifests in. For you, you know that gender is fluid here as we're dealing with spiritual energy, okay? So what they're saying is you have an injury around this and that they are going to bring in something that is right for you. Clarify this energy. 7 of Cups. You get choices too, okay? Now, you know what's so interesting about this? I'm hearing it's like it's a complete flip, and you know what flipped out too is the 5 of Cups upside down, which would be scorpionic energy. They're saying no more crying for you. I'm hearing no more I love yous. That word is leaving me, right? I'm hearing that. I'm hearing, do you have to let it linger? The cranberries. Such a sad time that you're coming out of distrust and disillusionment for men, disillusionment for men and relationships. You're not crying anymore, and you now get to be the choice. I feel like in the past you were juggled. That's one of the things that they're telling me here, but they're saying now you get to be the chooser. Be choosy. And they're saying that you're coming out of a time where you can't trust people energetically. Clarify the energy for her with the fire. Yeah, you're coming out of this. You're coming out of anxiety. Oh, I can't even hold on to it anymore. They hate it for you. You're coming out of anxiety, the 9 of Swords. You see that white dove there? Yeah, the Spirit of the Lord is here. The Spirit of the Lord is here. The Spirit of the Lord is here. I feel it in the atmosphere. The Spirit of the Lord is here. I have goosebumps. That's a Holy Ghost. Holy Ghost anointing energetically has pulled you out of a depression, actually. And what they're moving you into, they said, is a 2 of Cups, which is where someone actually shares your love and it's beneficial. 2, also representative of this year 222 in partnership. So they're saying you have nothing to fear. But they said the hardest part of your mountain is in the rear. You already climbed it. All right. I hope that resonates for you. With the bottom of the deck being the Ace of Swords, that is in fact the truth. Okay. New ideas coming into you, scripting and releasing. Do a cord cutting video here on YouTube. There are a plethora of them. And watch my soul divorces so that you can clean the energy of who used to be a friend and maybe more, but is now a foe, and they're out the door. And they said they're out the door for a reason, because you chose it. You chose to ascend, even if it was painful and it hurt. They said we brought in to you the option of many men that are better, that aren't wishing harm or death or energetic casting out on you, because that is not what you deserve. Okay, so you are bringing in something new. Let's see here. Tanisha. Emily says, my question is, can there be a spiritual answer to why I'm incredibly emotional about all vulnerable Black men? The specific gender is a reoccurring theme from childhood. This existed. Tanisha says, oh, thanks. Real Talk with Gilly says, we had a great conjunction on the 12th, my birthday. I'm so new to astrology, but did anyone else have introspection? Did connection happen? Wow. Super. Wow. Thank you, says Tanisha. Real Talk says an extremely good point, and will definitely keep that in mind. I view myself as equal to everyone else, but can see how I could get carried away with having this gift. It will make sure to keep myself humble in this time and steady, steady, steady. Amen. Momo's Happy Place says hello to all. Thank you guys for being sweethearts and saying hello. Yes, very true. Damn narcissist. I was raised by a covert narcissist. Love and light to all who dealt with any narcissist. Amen. Thank you very much. You are welcome on it. And then Momo's Happy Place says polyamory triggers. Yes, it does. All right, back to my sweet Emily. Emily, it's so funny. You texted me and I answered you on here like you weren't texting me, because crazy. Because I'm crazy, meaning like you were sending me a real text about, I guess the video was that you just watched that I just put up, and I was answering you on here like you were on here because whatever, and then you showed up here, so even better. So why are you triggered by Black men who are emotional? Let's take a look here. The first thing that comes to me is past life connection. So you have some past life connection to other ethnicities, but let's take a look. Let's see. Can't make it up. This is what fell out. Were you a Black woman in a past life, Emily? Listen, some people will doubt because they really don't understand how spirituality works and why we're sent in. One of the things that I know about myself is that I'm an ambassador for people that are racist. And I know that sounds crazy, right? That's like a hot take if ever there was one. God has specifically put me in my life in places with people who hated people that looked like me. And he made me different in all of the ways that he made me different, because what I was here to do was to teach. Now, Emily, the reason I say this is because I think that it is quite relevant for you as well. I think that in your past life, you had connections to the ancestry that you do not have in this life, meaning that's not the color of your skin, that's not your ethnicity, but I think that you carried the burden of this. And specifically, a black woman, a black mother here. Now, with the Nine of Pentacles, traditionally in tarot, this would just represent singlehood. This is just a beautiful deck that's well illustrated and diverse, inclusive, right? So it has people of all genders, sexualities, and whatever here. But for you, I do feel like you are essentially like a Mother Teresa. The white is the indication for me. Not that you're a white lady in this life, but the white is an indication of your purity and how you may have housed, loved, and mothered black men, children in other lifetimes, even birthed them too. Hence the connection that you do have. Now that again is a hot take. Somebody watching this would be like, what the da 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 da? How are you just going to ascribe a whole other ethnicity and lifetime? Well, I am not a past life regressive therapist, though they exist, and you could definitely do a deep dive on that. I certainly have in my own life done on past life regression therapy to realize where and what I was and why I have the connections I do in this life, specifically with my bisexuality. Though I didn't speak of it to the therapist, it came up as my other lives as men and women in other lifetimes, and why I could so relate to being attracted to both perfectly, honestly, and purely. So that was for me. Now, the reason I think that you're having that connection, like I said before I pulled the card, that's what I heard, but let's clarify that. Yeah, and here's what I will say to you is you were torn away from someone that you had to love and mother, so this was done brutally. It wasn't a walking away that you did. Was this something she did voluntarily in a past life? No, it was something that you were forced to do by patriarchy around you, probably white patriarchy around you. So this is really powerful, Emily. Again, I am not a past life regressionist therapist, but I have to say that one of the things that I'm seeing for you is that you were forced to abandon children as a black person, probably in past lives, and that's why you can't control your emotion for men that are showing their vulnerability in this lifetime, that are dealing with the struggle of carrying the skin and the weight of their ethnicity. When you relate to someone that deeply, there is a past life trigger. My therapist wife talked to me before I had my session, and she had a terrible fear of drowning, and the therapist that was her husband did work on her and discovered that in her past life she was drowned. Even though it seems like a simple connection and dot to make, and maybe it's even cliche, but he went deep with her and talked about it and how it happened and whatever. So water of any kind was a trigger for her besides a shower. She couldn't even do a bath, right? Because it freaked her out. And so it's very real that our past lives affect us in this life. Also, our karmic relationships, where we're like dealing with someone who is very toxic to us. I had past lives with a past karmic partner who maybe I wasn't good to in the past life, or maybe she tried to kill me in other past lives, and we just repeated that cycle, and I just decided to break the cycle. It is very true. So even though, again, for Gilly, if you're still listening, if I'm saying your name correctly, you can't overthink it. The first thing I heard when Emily asked that question was, oh, it's her past life connection. She was a black woman in past lives. Now, to validate it with the cards, and that's how we grow our spirituality, and that's why I say study, 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 is to see, I know what these cards mean, and they have multiple meanings when you're reading them. But right away, I saw patriarchy, because this is my card of the narcissist. When I'm dealing with any reading, that's the King of Swords. And then this is the card of walking away. Did she do it voluntarily, I asked, and I got the narcissist's clarification. The answer is no. She was forced to give up children in her past life, hence her bleeding heart in this life. And the card that shows up here that validates it is the Eight of Pentacles, which is about mastery and putting work in. So in this life, one of her things that she's cleaning up karmically is the past life abandonment that she may have done of black children and or children that she birthed, that she was forced to do. And it wasn't something she wanted to. But Emily, in this lifetime, that's why you were called to be an activist. That's why you're called to march. That's why you're called to protest. That's why you're called to write and speak, think pieces. That's why you're called to share your heart about these men, because you are correcting the injustice that was done to them, but also to you from a past life. And you understand, it's funny, as on the TV in the background, a beautiful black woman who is voluptuous is like arching her back. It's a commercial for Adidas, and there's all kinds of gorgeous women in here, but this one is the one I'm drawn to. Mother Earth. Yes, my dear, you had a past past life as a black woman, and that is why your heart bleeds so much. It's not because of propaganda. It's not because you're a bleeding liberal heart, bleeding heart liberal. It is not that. It is something that is more esoteric, more deep, more metaphysical than anybody else could ever peep. And I'm telling you, it happened. I'm getting a hit on my throat chakra. You were not allowed to speak. You heard how that happened? That hasn't happened my whole life previously or tonight. I hit on my throat chakra. Your voice was taken from you. Your grounding was taken from you. You were not allowed to stand in your power and be the mother that you were called to be. Another black woman you were also plus size in your past life as well. So if you have issues in your body in this life, that is one of the things that you're trying to overcorrect in this life. Okay. I don't know your story in that regard, but this is the second plus size black woman that's on the TV, which is not something that yes, we see it more now, but not normally. You definitely birth children. And now I'm seeing a crocodile and something slithering. Everything is a reading too for Gilly if you're still watching. And then a Venus flytrap. Something was stolen from you. This is an advert for a phone. I believe it is. It's a really creepy advert. It's for the Apple iPhone 13, a Verizon commercial. Yeah, murky waters, something stolen from you. I'm seeing orcas now, whales coming through. What I'm telling you is that everything is a reading. Everything is a tarot card. So yes, I'm reading cards, but I'm also reading the things that are coming up. And I think very specifically, you're dealing with abandonment issues about motherhood and maternity. And it was the crocodile that showed up here and the Venus flytrap. The energy of that is to confirm the narcissistic theft. Okay, because when I see a crocodile clamps down and it doesn't release and it will death roll you. Something was stolen from you, Emily. And that's why you have that. And that's why you're called to do that work. That isn't for you to dwell on that. And the sadness of it, it is to get to work in this life and correct the behavior. One of the things that we will be called to do in this lifetime as we ascend into our North Node is to course correct the things that other generations didn't get right or things we didn't get right in our past life. For me, one of the things that I was called to course correct was getting out of toxic relationships that weren't reciprocal or unrequited, or turning my head the other way, even though it was a very unconventional situation. When someone was cheating on me, they were being an infidel, they weren't sharing truths with me. That doesn't need air quotes. That was the absolute truth, and that was happening. And yes, cheating as well. I was called to do what my grandmother couldn't do, what my mother couldn't do, what my great-grandmother couldn't do because of economic status, because of life, because of lack of opportunity. And in this lifetime, even though the dynamic was interesting, I did it. I broke the chain and I broke the generational curse. Sometimes we'll incarnate to break something. I did what none of the rest of the women in my family could ever do. I chose to not look the other way, and I chose to be like, F you, completely, totally, and absolutely. And I took my power back and I broke that generational curse of turning the other cheek because I had to, because I didn't know my worth, as so many of the women in my family didn't. When you come in like that, Emily, you are correcting something, whether you realize it or not, and you are being conduit. And so you are called in this lifetime to be an activist. So you will not be allowed to turn your head the other way when you see injustice persist. You will be called to take out your camera phone if you see an arrest that's going down and it's squirrely or unjust. You will be called to speak on Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor. And for you, you said it's black men specifically. So if it's black men, then George Floyd. You will be called to speak on the things that other people will ignore. And they will say, who is this white girl that is not speaking for us, but she's an activist and an ally? We don't get it, but they don't get to judge because they don't know your past life. I just saw some of what you went through, and I saw some of the pain as things were taken from you that you birthed from your body, and I saw how you're trying to reconcile it, Emily. Don't doubt it for 1 second. That's why you're called to this journey. All right, let me see what else I have for you. You said, no, I'm emotional about and vulnerable about black men. Do you mean, okay, I thought I answered the question, Emily. What I mean is that I think you're emotionally and vulnerable about black men because you may have been a black woman in a past life that carried black men and they were taken from you. That was my answer. I think you thought I was misunderstanding, but maybe I am. So are you saying that you're emotional, like you're triggered by them? Or you're saying you're emotional and care for them in an inordinate proportion? Toya, Miss Lieber says, I'm new here. May I ask to have a reading? Yes, you may, Toya. Amazing, truly amazing. I feel it. Like, if you know, says Real Talk. Holy shit, you nailed it. I'm speechless. That's very hard to do. Make me speechless. I do feel cheated out of having a mother. Oh, I'm so sorry, Gilly. Actually, absolutely, Toya. Please ask me the question. Emily, maybe I misunderstood, but girl, you and I are able to text, so let's clarify that in text if I didn't say it right. Maybe that was another message for somebody else tonight. But Toya, if you're still here, please ask your question. I'll be happy to answer it. Clarify this energy. I'm having a hard time healing after my Gemini baby, Father Tay, abandoned his responsibility as a father to my son by him. My question is, why isn't the universe giving him his karma for this? Shaking my head. All right, I got it, Toya. Emily said, I thought you misheard my question, but then I listened fully. I hope I answered that for you, Emily, because that's what came through for me. All right, Toya, I got it. Toya, you know what I happen to have here for you is karma cards. You may think that the universe is not giving him his karma. I think that the universe never misses. I mean, karma never misses an address. I was listening to somebody recently, a reader, and she gave the best description of karma. She said karma is like that sweet old grandmother that comes and sits on the porch and says, I have some sweet tea for you, or like hot tea for you. And then you sip it and that's your karma in there. It's poisonous. Now, we don't all want to just wish like poisonous karma on people. Okay, awesome, Emily. I'm so glad you received the message. Yeah, that was a very powerful message that came through for you, Emily. And it's not something that's ever come through, and you and I speak often. And so that was very authentic for you. I'm glad you asked it. Momo's happy place. Oh, you're so amazing with your intuitive hits. Oh my gosh. We're vibing on a cosmic level. Absolutely, Momo's happy place. Now, back to Toya. He has abandoned this thing. Now, I spoke just a moment ago about generational curses and what we watched our mothers go through. So I want you to take a look, Toya, at your family pathology real quick, right? I want you to take a look at what happened with your mothers and their relationships, or the women in your family's relationships, okay? Were there similarities to what happened with you and your baby's father? Let's take a look and see why this happened to you. Clarify the energy. I'm feeling very stressed out as I talk to you, Toya, okay? This is not about you, but what I just did was I cracked my neck, and it cracked, and usually it doesn't happen. It could just be a stretch, but I'm feeling a lot of stress in the upper part of my back. You're carrying the weight of this completely. This is financially, and this is emotionally and energetically. You're carrying the weight of this. Clarify why the universe hasn't given his karma. Let's talk. See, this is the thing, Toya. You're new here. I'm not your typical reader. This is the issue. Then hearing he's happy about another baby on the way with his other baby's mother. Yeah, here's what just came out. Marriage. You're attracting emotional fulfillment and unconditional love. They didn't want you to be with him because this is not a person who is able to commit. But let me tell you, also what I have for you is a special treat. I don't pull it out unless people specifically ask it of me. It's my Just Desserts Karma deck from King Aloha Tarot. He has a channel here. I don't know if it's King Aloha anymore. He might have changed it to Joey something else. But my karma deck is super juicy and super good. And it's one of the best. He wrote it and did it and illustrated it. We're going to pull and see what his karma is going to be, because I want to give you some peace of mind on this full moon. But I want to talk to you about what's going on a deeper level for you. Clarify the marriage card, please. Your angels intervene with this. You need to know this, Toya. I know this. You're like, how did my angels intervene? And I got a hot mess in the raw end of a deal. Let's talk about this here. Your angels are guiding and protecting you on your spiritual journey. Believe it or not, this is completely something that your angels allowed. And I know it sounds crappy. I know it does, girl. Bear with me. Clarify the energy of her baby's father. They told me to pull some animal totems. We got to get primal, because this is a primal situation. We're going to pull some animal totems here, okay? Clarify the energy of her baby's father. Woo, woo. A lot came out. And here's what I'm going to tell you. First of all, you guys were not getting along. He's operating completely out of his shadow. The bat came out, so that's one. And then I see the buffalo. He created and started fights with you. You see that lightning? Incidentally, I just was really sick in the hospital last year. When they showed me the MRI of my infection, they said if it gets to your bone, you're going to die. This is exactly what it looked like. It looked like lightning strikes that were crawling to my bone. Very creepy. This guy was poisonous to you. That's what they just said to me. Here's what you wanted from him. Loyalty. Okay? Here's what he gave you. BS cocky energy. Clarify the baby's father. I'm irritated as I'm reading for you, Toya. And irritated in every way. He just wanted to play, is what I heard. His sexual energy is out of control, is what they said. And I don't mean that in a good way. Yes, there may have been good sex, but what I'm seeing is that he does not commit. Clarify the energy here. He bought you this. This is another 5. You have the buffalo and the elk. This is 5 of wands. This is strife and drama. Clarify his energy for Toya. He was preying on you. He's predatory, period. The fox. Clarify his energy for Toya. They're showing me the turtle. I don't understand what that means. Clarify his energy for Toya. The emperor, he wanted control. The turtle moves slow. He wanted control. Is he happy in his new relationship? The person is pregnant. Here's what they're saying here. I'm going to tell you the truth. What they're saying is he presents as happy. Clarify his energy in that new relationship, but this is the truth. He's going to betray her too. And I'm not saying that with a smile. I'm saying that so you understand. And also what they're saying, the double meaning here, Toya, is it was a betrayal to you. Does he love this new person he's with? No. But your angels, okay, Toya says, I'm confused. How did the universe bless him with another opportunity to make another child? We have free will. And what I feel like is that happened here because the Empress is pregnant. How did the universe bless him with another opportunity to make another child? It's all about balance and equanimity. They were watching what he did with you and that he wasn't going to come through. And it's not even a blessing in the way that you say, like all children are a blessing. But this is not a man that's going to stick and stay. Show me his energy towards this new woman and this new child. Clarify this. Okay. So she's a new prey. She's new prey. Let me help you understand. She's new prey. He saw her as a golden egg. Your ex is a narcissist, okay? Fully and truly, I promise you. I know it's a word we throw around a lot. He's a narcissist. He saw her literally and he preyed on her, got her stuck in his web. She doesn't stand up for herself. The lesson here with the stingray, the lesson here for you was to stand up for yourself with him. It's not a blessing. You're not going to see that yet. And Toya, you know, we can only do, just because there will be other people here, one question. And I've already gone pretty extensive with you, and I'm going to keep going with the karma cards, but I need you to understand this. No matter what I say tonight, it's not going to make you feel okay, because you're pissed, rightfully so. I would be too. I'm pissed for you, to be honest. I know it seems like such an injustice, and it seems like such bullshit and balderdash, but what I'm going to tell you is, because it's so fresh, because you are caring for an infant, because your hormones are still rebalancing, because you still might be dealing with some postpartum, because like I could go down a list of reasons that no matter what I say to you tonight, you're going to be like BS when you leave here. And I don't blame you at all. What I'm going to tell you is this. He is going to get his karma, and he is not happy in that other relationship. I'm also going to tell you this. Something that they said that you've been thinking about and worrying about is, am I going to get married? Who's going to want me? I have this baby. Is this going to be a reality for me? Is this going to be a thing that I actually get? The answer is yes. Clarifying that, they're showing me, show me who he is. And this is what came out. And I knew a slippery fish and a hyena. Your person, he also deals with mental illness as well here with the hyena, okay? So what we're dealing with is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Yes. My son, Caden, is now 2 years old. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde here is what we're dealing with. This guy was no good. I have no doubt about it. The guy is no good. Clarify, yeah, they keep showing me the peacock. Was he never in a relationship though? I don't know. Clarify his energy now. One more. Yeah, this guy is just operating out of, remember I said his sexual energy is out of control? This is not about him being just great at sex. He's a sex magician and a wordplay smith, but he is not a committed person. Clarify marriage for Toya. Yeah, this is a spiritual journey for you. That's why it happened. We will see our exes sometimes move on with other people and think, oh my gosh, they're so happy. But I'm telling you, it's not going to be. And here's what I'm going to do. The last few cards I'm going to pull for you, Toya, are about karma, okay? Clarify what his karma is going to be. We're going to let this come out. You said you weren't in a relationship with him. I'm sorry, I might have read that wrong. You weren't in a relationship with him. I know, but it seems like to some degree, relationship is something that you crave. With the marriage card coming up, even if it wasn't with him, it's showing it as something that you crave. Hold on one second. What's his karma going to be? I'm telling you this. I know you don't think so, but you are being divinely protected. Remember when I said your angels were protecting you? Believe it or not, they were protecting you because this guy's never going to come through. Judgment, intervention, expedited karma, shock, and swift. Believe it or not, his karma is coming very quickly, with destruction, sabotage, anger, causing problems, uncontrollable, blacking out, meeting their match, needing anger management, attracting drama. This is one of the cards that came out for him regarding his karma. Job issues is another one. He lied about a lot and got me pregnant and left. Yeah, your angels were trying to protect you from more. Listen, this is, look, girl, I can't make it up. STDs. Didn't I say he was reckless with his sexual behavior? I can't make it up. STDs, reckless sexual behavior, accusations, humiliation, scares, stress, and consequences. Clarify this. Choking on pride, eating his own words, pretender, shame, scandal, fraud, inexperience, looking foolish, clout fail, shame. And then the other one, regrets, constant thoughts of sadness, disappointment, and loss. One of the things that comes in here, one more karma card for him. One more karma card for him. Girl, I'm telling you this. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Behind bars, serving jail time, crimes guilty, by association. It's hard to read backwards. Imprisonment, domestic, caught in the act, warrants, unpaid citations, framed. I will tell you this, he is going to have his karma, and it's coming in the form of legal energy and also STDs. He already has STDs currently, is what they just said to me. So, girl, you dodged a whole bullet out here, okay? Believe it or not, you dodged a whole bullet. And listen to this. Abuse, health issues from abuse and addictions, STDs, excessive drugs, alcohol, food, sex, medication, hospitalization, regular visits, and overindulgence. That's the last card that was flipped. Like, I had turned my deck and it was flipped. So that was the last card for him. So that's some of his karmic justice that's coming in for him. I will tell you, it's interesting though. You said something to me, Toy, and I got to call you on it. You're like, I wasn't in a relationship with him, and I hear you. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up on the guy that you're asking about. Your son, Father's Tay, his energy. Yeah. That's what I'm picking up is what's coming up for him. Is the son's father, Tay, the one who got the other person pregnant? Am I understanding your question correctly? Or did you ask me about something else that I maybe didn't see in the messages as they were scrolling by when I was pulling the cards? You're asking about that, but one of the things that I'm hearing here is that you're still emotionally invested, as you would be. It's your son's father. You're going to be invested and connected to him for the rest of your son's life is what I'm hearing, you know? So what they're showing me here is that, yes, you weren't in a relationship with him, but for some reason you did crave a relationship with him, or we wouldn't be reading on him. So there was definitely some craving for a relationship with him. And yes, that's what I'm picking up for your son's father. He may get himself caught up in some kind of scam, get rich quick scheme-esque thing. And so they're saying just be very careful with him. If you are interested in still sleeping with him, be protected with him or think twice about it, okay? And it's absolutely okay to be bitter, girl. At least you're being honest about it. Yeah, the devil, this is how he showed up in your life. God divinely protecting us from things that aren't meant for our highest good. And mad, and you can be mad. You can be mad. I just don't want you to end up on Snapped. Right now they said this is where you are and you're not seeing clearly. And that's why I had to get a little tough talk, tough love with you. I know you're new here. I'm not just a love and light reader. I'm the truth reader, okay? And I'm going to help you get through something. If you come to my channel, it's by no coincidence. It's because I've been you. I've been mad. I've been bitter. I've been angry. I've been hurt. I've been tried. I watched somebody else build something with somebody else after they had promised those things to me, but they were a liar. They were a narcissist, and now they are filled with STDs as well. We're not in any communication at all. And that's probably to protect you from his ego with all that peacocking and all that stuff here, okay? So that's why we do this. The truth sets us free. Amen. All right, Toya. Anyway, that's what I have for you, Miss Libra. You will get balance, and also the thing that's promised you is partnership. If you are a Libra, partnership rules your sign, okay? And so you are meant in this lifetime to have partnership to ascend to your highest place. Not everybody is meant to do that, but for your Libra, also you're beautiful AF. That's another thing. Libras are bad AF, okay? Just they exude it. You guys are Venusian. You're ruled by the planet Venus, so it means that beauty is you. A reader that I want to recommend to you is Unique Tarot LLC. She really helps people. If you need to, let's say, if you need to do a tarot binge, No, I don't. But I'm gonna have to say no, I don't. I don't necessarily do. Feel like he's gonna do too much for the new baby. I feel like he's gonna just love bomb her too. The person I'm gonna send you to, yeah, girl, I was about to set a boundary here. I love you, girl. It's all fair over here. I'm a teacher, okay? Libra gang, 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 gaiety, gang, gang, as the ghetto nun says, for sure. But I love you. But yes, no, I can't answer any more questions tonight for you. But what I will do is recommend you to a reader who is fabulous. Her name is Unique Tarot LLC. This is a reader you want to go to if you just are fresh off the breakup. She helped me so much when I was fresh off of my breakup a couple years ago, and she's fantastic. And she's also bitter, and not in a bad way, meaning like she channels bitterness because she's been there. And if you want to hear someone cuss out your baby daddy but tell you the truth about the nature of the relationship, then this is the girl to go to, okay? Unique Tarot LLC. She's funny. She curses. She's a little hood. No problem. You are welcome. Thank you for your respect and saying thank you, Miss Toya. I appreciate that. But go to her, Unique Tarot LLC. She is a black girl, and you're not going to see black woman, I should say. She doesn't show her face very often. She's usually see her from the chest down, and she's reading those cards for their life. But when I tell you, if you want to hear your baby daddy get cussed out, but also hear truth about how sorry he is, she's the girl for you. Go check her out tonight. I promise you're gonna binge watch her. And that is, I know you wanted that. My angel said that's what you wanted. They said Saturday Unique. You see, we do not have a monopoly on spirituality, Gilly, if you're still here. We all have our different gifts, and Unique has a spotlight for bitterness, baby daddies, and bullshit in the best way. I love her. She got me through many of dark nights when I was like, this bitch tried me. She tried me so badly. And I watched that girl's readings, and it just lit up my life with happiness just to hear all the terrible things. She's fantastic at karma readings too. And she also does personal reads too. So Unique Tarot LLC. Go check her out. You will not be sorry, and come back and comment and tell me how you loved her. Because for someone fresh off of a breakup with your situation specifically, chef's kiss. She's the best. All right. So Momo's Happy Place said, I followed her in the early days and transcended the bitter energies in the beginning of my breakup. She's very good. See, I love your honest feedback, Momo's Happy Place. It is so true. In the beginning of a breakup, there is no one better for you than her. She is reading them for filth, but you will evolve. Like, I don't watch her channel now, and it's not because I can't. I don't care anymore about my ex. I don't care about what her karma is. I don't care if she living or die. I don't even care. She doesn't exist anymore for me energetically, other than to be a TED Talk, or a book. But even that, I'm like, oh God, do I want to talk about her for another 20 years? No, I don't. I will teach about it because that was the horrible lesson that I was given that was bitter for me. But you move on, and you will do the same. So Momo's Happy Place, I love the feedback of like, yeah, I watched her and then I grew out of her. So you will grow out of her when it's time. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I love you, Toya. I love you. And I'm wishing you healing, but go check her out, all right? Let me see if there's anybody else that left a question. All right. I don't see any more, and I hear my family is back from the roller coasters of love. So I'm going to go spend some time with mi familia because we got to get out of here early in the morning. We're off to another Airbnb in another part of the state because we're just living our best familia vacation travel life. So it's been a beautiful few days here, and we're off to the next place. Change clothes and go. We have a surprise Easter hunt for the kiddos. I made baskets, and I've got like 150 eggs filled with all the best yummy stuff, and they don't know that's happening. So I'm so excited. Anyway, guys, you guys enjoy your weekend. Love your family. Love the people in your life that love you. I haven't seen these kiddos in 3 years since the pandemic, and several people in our families on both sides died because of COVID, and I had COVID twice, and God bless America. I'm so grateful for being here today, and so grateful that I get to see these kids' face before they're teenagers. I was so scared I wouldn't get to see them again. Real Talk says, oh, have fun. Last thing, my gut is right. My other half is my other half. Yes, your gut is right. But the thing about another half being your other half, and Momo's Happy Place says, thank you. Have safe, fun adventures. Thank you. The other thing about your other half being your other half is this. They have to know it on their own. You cannot force it. I believe in the rule of three, real talk. And what I mean by that is if you talk to someone 3 times and you say, hey, I think you're my twin flame, or I think you're my soulmate, or I think you're my whatever, if they don't get it, then you divest immediately, okay? It doesn't matter how much you love them, how special they is, whatever, whatever. I use my life as an example, as I always will and always can, and that's what it is. When you come here, we're going to talk about ourselves because that's the only experience we have, and I want to talk about you too, right? But I have a soulmate in my life now, and I talked about this, and she's a bestie, it's platonic, but she proposed, she did a bestie proposal, and we were with her daughter and their bestie, and they were saying like, oh my gosh, you guys proposed, we're so behind the curve, like da 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 da. But what it was is that both of us appreciated so much us in each other's lives that she did propose to me, and she got it. I didn't have to beat her over the head to be like, you're my soulmate, you're my best friend, you a real bad bitch, got your own stuff, you don't need my ish. Like, she's an independent boss lady. She is a different ethnicity than me, a lot of things. So, you know, that song funny, maybe not fully appropriate, but super funny and accurate in its own way. But I did not force on her my belief of our connection. You know, I talked to her, and then I didn't talk to her anymore until her angels talked to her and were like, well, it's funny because I've talked to you guys about it. We knew we were each other's bestie persons right away. Like, it was kind of like love at first sight minus all the, you know, sexy part. But it was definitely like, you're my person. Oh my God, where have you been? Oh my life. We definitely felt that for each other. But when she did the bestie proposal, I was like, the angels talked to her. I wasn't going to force it on her. I knew who she was. She knew who I was. But when she did that, I was like, and now you know who we are. And now we can be a power couple, a bestie ship, if you will, in the best way. For romantic relationships, it's the same thing. If you know in your gut the other person's the other person, awesome. But they got to come to you too. We're not stalking people in perpetuity for 75 years. We're not pretending that someone is our person and they have no idea about it, and they have their own fears and they don't come to us. They need to respect you enough. Otherwise, God will bring in another person for you. Had that person not bestie proposed, God would have sent somebody else in. And I know you're like, but wait, if they're my person, they're my person. Yeah. All that's true. But if they didn't recognize it, then I wasn't going to be able to convince some of it. I spent 20 years in a relationship with someone who knew exactly who I was and still shit on me. Did it on me, shit it on me, right? No amount of convincing. And that was a powerful lesson I learned. I learned it for you guys. Don't stay in any relationship, no matter how good it looks to your eyes, if the other person isn't confirming to you with their own soul and spirit that they know who you are. They failed the mission completely, and God said, that's okay. We got another Booski. We got you. And if that one doesn't hear it, we got another one. That too. Okay? All the things are true. So, yes, your instinct is right. But they have to come to you. In the light, in the night, star bright, starlight, they need to let you know that they are also your wish tonight and you are their wish tonight. Message. All right? So good. Sharing energy with you. Study in the meantime. Absolutely. Yeah, let her come to you in your own time. 100%. Pray for her, man. Pray for her, man, woman, whoever you are. But let her come to you. Because when she comes to you, not even the angels can tear that apart. She's a Libra, funny enough. Also, childhood best friend who never would have thought about this before. See, they have to know, though. They have to know. That's the last thing I'll say to you. All right, I'm going to go spend time with my family. I love you guys so much. Come back and join me next time, and we will continue to evolve together. What a pleasure tonight, guys. What an absolute pleasure.